Welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour for the first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the season. It is a clear night over Al Shakab at this stunning facility, and we have started the search for the man or woman who will follow Ben Mayer after his 2018 and 2019 championship wins. Over 15 stages, we will travel far across the seas and onto different continents, looking for the most complete, the most versatile rider that has got his horses fit and in shape over those 15 stages of the season. Under different conditions, like here at night on the sand in this big arena in Al Shakab, or the next stage in Madrid on grass on the natural light, the small boxy arena in Monaco, or the vast grassland of Hamburg. It's all part of the big test that is called Longines Global Champions Tour. Very happy that the season 2021 is finally underway, and equally as happy that you have joined us to watch the outcome of the first Grand Prix. It is built by Giuliano Vezzani, the course designer from Italy, in this fantastic arena on the Arabian Peninsula. It opened in 2011, a capacity of 2,250 people, but due to COVID restrictions, only 10% of the seats could be filled. Huge dimensions, 77 meters width and 117 meters the length of this arena. It is literally playground for Giuliano Vezzani, and this is precisely what he has built. Fence number 1 stands deep in the corner, the mosque upright to start. A long line with a little bend to it to fence number 2, a triple bar, 1 meter 80 wide, 155 the height. 8 strides to the Oxer of Qatar Foundation, 1 meter 60 wide, 150 high. That first line just to get the horse in the rhythm, but also to trick them in getting a little bit open, because out of the turn comes a 1 meter 60 upright of global champions, dreaded rails, difficult to jump, and in a very short approach on 8 strides into the triple combination. Triple combination, iconic, the Longines watches and the Longines colors. It comes in on a very short 8, a 160 wide, 155 high Oxer, 2 strides in between to the next vertical that stands at 1 meter 60, remeasured at 1 meter 60, and then we jump out with only 8 strides, only 8 meters in that second part at 155 high and 155 wide. That is a test of scope to jump out of that combination. It takes us round the bend to another 1 meter 60 tall vertical of ExxonMobil, and then on a flowing line it is number 7 of Al Shakab, forward 4 to this upright, and then very short 5 strides to the Al Shakab wall. Very short 5 strides in there, especially after those flowing 4 that come before. That'll be a very technical course, technical part, just to test the control that riders have. There's another test of control right here. Fence 10, 160 wide into the double combination. Very short 6 strides with a very tall vertical. It says there 155, remeasured at 160. Delicate vertical coming in, and then it is short inside again with less than 8 meters from vertical to the Oxer. There's a 90-degree angle to the widest Oxer on course. It measures 1 meter 70 wide, and then it takes us on 7 or 8 strides at the in-gate to the planks. 7 or 8, that is fence number 13. And if you think that isn't enough, there's also a time allowed, and that is set at 80 seconds. The length of this track is 530 meters, and that is what riders and horses need to cover, and they need to ride at a speed of 400 meters per minute. The qualifier was still at 375 meters per minute. We've added another 25 meters a minute to the required pace of the combinations in this Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Doha. And as we said in the introduction, this is where the test starts, to find the most versatile, the most complete rider and horses that are well managed and can last throughout the entire season and can perform at each and every stage under every circumstance. These are the 35 women and men that have survived the qualifier. Andrei Oplatek on his GC debut qualifies in his first to go, followed by Pius Schwitzer, Parbles, Gaudiano is in there, and Evelina Tovek, also Suus Kuiten, is a newcomer, and Agustin Covarrubias. Kukuk on Mumbai, Lopez on a new horse called Keros, and Aznar on the well-known Rockefeller. There's Maurice Tebbeland on the Arado, and Olivier Philipparts with H&M Legend of Love. Edwina Tops Alexander is in there, as is Eric Lamaze and the Grand Prix winner Shane Breen, and Julia Epayar, winner here in 2019. Anna Kellerova is back in business with Catch Me If You Can. Niels Bruinseels was excellent here last week in the 5-star CHI Grand Prix, and Max Kuhner holds good thoughts, good memories of this Grand Prix last year where he finished 6th. Christian Alman on Dominator 2000Z, they won here last week the Grand Prix, and Hello Vincent with Scott Brash, well, that is a horse change, and why? Well, that horse won yesterday's jump off class. That is a horse that performs in excellent form. 35 riders, 13 fences, 16 efforts. This is going to be a great evening of show jumping on the Arabian Peninsula in Doha, Qatar, the city and the venue that has hosted the opener of the seasons now for many years. And isn't this absolutely spectacular? State-of-the-art facility, whether it is for the grooms, for the riders, for the horses, for the judges or spectators, everybody is taken care of, and will take care of this man as he rides in for his very first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in his career. Andrei Oplatek from Poland. "24 years young, Andrei Oplatek, Polish rider who trained with Florian Meyer zu Hartum, and for 2 years now is being guided and coached, mentored by Markus Fuchs. And it's not Markus, it's his brother Thomas Fuchs that he trains with. And Oplatek rides Stakatam, 12-year-old Oldenburger by Staccato, out of a mare by Kanan. A former PSI auction horse, the Performance Sales International of both Paul Schockemöhle and the Kasselman family. We start fence 1, the Mosque. Open flowing approach to the triple bar. Sets him up for 8 strides and he lands on the back rail. There was some hesitation there from Stakatam. It's 4 faults for Oplatek. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 flow nicely actually. Tall upright, not much room in here. And wide, jumping out 155 wide. Roll back to ExxonMobil, 160 tall. Open approach to Al Shakab. He's riding for the time. This is also forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very difficult fence, I was about to say. And then it is a very short approach to the wall. And Stakatan keeps going, but it is literally falling to pieces for Andrei Oplatek and Stakatan. Maybe he should have circled after that skinny upright. And Oplatek decides to retire in his Grand Prix debut at Global Champions Tour level. And well, Ujano Vezzani, he did build something. A combination of easy flowing lines and then technical delicacies. Look at that, Liverpool underneath. No wings, unicolored rails. Everything done there to distract the horse from the task ahead. And I think maybe Stakatan just had a little look. Maybe the distance didn't fit, but did it not fit because of the Liverpool? That's all tough to say. And this was the consequence. The crew rebuilding the wall. And Pius Schwitzer. Oh, on vient du Rouet. giving Viento a look at that wall. Viento du Rouet, a 12-year-old gelding, and for us a new horse on the tour. Pius makes space as always. Look at that, getting him in front of his leg, yet also asking him to come back on his hand and to function as a Grand Prix horse. Nine strides, oh, little long there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from Pius to Qatar Foundation. Short 8. Did you see the bend that Pius rode in that line? And now really have to stretch out of the combination. He got real deep to the vertical of Global Champions and still had to work hard to get the 8 strides in. Here come the flowing 4. And now short. Wow, that is really difficult. You come in to Al Shakab with a lot of forward drive because you know that the 4 are long. Then you've got that very delicate upright, and then it is the difficult wall. The wall itself isn't so difficult, but it's everything in front of it that makes this Grand Prix very, very tricky. And Pius Schweitzer, well, he decides to retire. You need to come flowing forward to that Oxer, also with the Liverpool underneath. And then again forward flowing to that upright. Next in is Chris Krasdivi and Bart Bless. Impressive jumper by Cooper van de Heffink. Wow, the swing with the hind leg. Spectacular over the triple bar. But he's very open and forward now. Can he risk the deep stride here to the upright? That's a magical ride right there from Bart Bless. With lots of confidence in the quality of Chris Kras. Very forward actually. Wow, this horse is really operating. Did you see how he backed off to that center vertical? And that's so delicate. Lots of quality. Oxer, short, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no room in the combination. This Oxer is 1.70 m wide. Look at how Bless has to ride, and now come the plank. He goes for the extra stride on 8, deep to the plank, leaves it up, and what does the time tell us? The time seems to be good, and Bart Bless is in the jump off. "80 seconds, the time allowed. Not an issue for Bless. And Bless qualifies on a great ride on Chris Kras. Gaudiano and Chalou, with one clear now on the board. Chalou by Chaco Blue. So time allowed 80 seconds, Bless around 75 seconds. Feels like the time allowed isn't going to play too big of a role in this Grand Prix. Oh, he came in on 7 strides, nearly dropped over the shoulder there, and then squeezed over the oxer coming out. That is an alternative approach from Emanuele Gaudiano. Four strides. Whoa! Dared him deep to the wall. That was nearly 4.5. Short 6. Now a stretch out. There's no room in the... Oh, and really soaring high over that oxer. 170 wide here, and the front rail goes. And he's looking for the 8th stride, and Chalou gets strong on him, and he wiggles over the last vertical, over the plank. It is for false in 73.94, the time of Emanuele Gaudiano and Chalou, with the clear of Barbless now standing. And a impressive round from Emanuele Gaudiano, but in the end it came apart. You have to ride with a lot of leg. You know that that oxer is 170 wide. Yep, and then you have the chance that you get more forward impulse. Or too much, actually, than what you're looking for. Two riders made a horse change compared to the qualifier earlier on. It is Scott Brash, who swapped to Hello Vincent, and it is this Evelina Tovek who chose to ride Dalila de la Pomme. She qualified on Winnetou de la Amante Z. Winnetou, who finished top 5 in last week's Grand Prix here. But Dalila more educated, more experienced. Little rub. Can she get the 8 fast enough? That's a beautiful angle. Just soaring over the back rail, but didn't get the height over the vertical. And round she comes to ExxonMobil. Here is Al Shakab, long 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rides for the 4. Some hesitation. Now short to the wall. Lovely foreleg technique. That shoulder coming up. Forward and up. Second last line. Oxer. Short again. 6. That comes down. She didn't get her enough on the hind leg, and then there's no room either inside that double combination. And a lot of those riders going for those planks on 8. This really is about rideability, really is about control, about horses being able to shift and to sit, lengthening and shortening, and still keeping the quality, because the material here in Doha is extremely light, and the colors that Uliano Vezzani likes to play with, those pastel colors, those light colors, very hard for a horse, difficult for a horse and rider to distinguish in the sand. It all adds to the complete test that is Longines Global Champions Tour. Olivier Robert gives Vivaldi de Menot another look at those plain white rails. Those are the rails that lead to the triple combination. There's a black gate underneath, so there is a bit of contrast, but the white blends in with the sand. That's why Robert wants to give his horse a preview. Robert with Saint-Tropez Pirates. A difficult afternoon. This is his chance to make up for the weekend. Vivaldi by Chippendale Z and Bamako de Muse. Not a spectacular horse, it is a careful horse. Here he comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like Gaudiano, in on 7. And finding enough propulsion to jump out of the combination. A good move from Olivier Robert. But he will have to go for 5 to the wall, and he gets the light rub on Al Shakab. And a small touch as well on the wall. You can see just a little bit that the wall has been touched, but it's still up. So Robert is now on 8. He had also, after Al Shakab, he had the center vertical down. Double combination, short inside, out of it. Now push for the back rail. And 8 over the plank. And Olivier Robert, again, no problem with the time. Makes it easily. But he has got 2 fences down, puts him on 8. Barbless only clear so far, following 6 riders. Again, the forwards 4 that you expect after, and then just riding a little bit more open to that oxer and taking the front rail out. This is Suus Kuijten, Dutch rider with Alpha Jordan by Air Jordan Z. Beautifully arched neck there from the gelding. Oh, that's long. 8 to Qatar. Does she go for 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, for 8. And then ho. And out. Well ridden. Twisting and turning there, Alpha Jordan, over those last 2 parts of the triple. Five. Give him enough room to the oxer. Oh, it was a short 5 actually. She didn't go for the flowing 4, but for the short 5. And get the short 5 here as well. Alternative approach for Suus Kuijten, a little bit unbalanced there in the landing after the wall. And now into another difficult line. Adds a stride in the approach from oxer, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Short 6. And takes both parts down. It lands her on 12 at the moment. And now it adds. And she completes her Grand Prix on 16 plus time, plus the fault. And she rode a very good 2/3. And then in the end, it was unlucky. She's happy with Alpha Jordan's performance. 21 is the score. New face, new name, Agustin Covarrubias and Tiavanta. Tiavanta 2CZ. Tiavanta by Treasure and Ahorn. Former rider of Kim Emmen on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Covarrubias, 39-year-old, who competed mainly in South America, and since a year and a half now also competes in Europe, hence his participation in the LGCT. And on his debut, straight away qualified for the Grand Prix. Beautiful control into the triple combination, but not enough punch to get over the first oxer. That's the difficulty. You slow down to find the 8, but you need enough forward push to get over that 160 wide oxer. Big shot into this line, and then it's short. And on the way, she takes the upright down. Agustin Covarrubias. This is a new level for him. You can ride 5 stars, but it's not the same like riding a global tour, and the Grand Prix on its own is not the issue. It's the entire week of GCL rounds, jump-off classes. You're being thrown into the deep end, and he finishes just inside the time allowed with 8 faults in 79.54 seconds. That was a good ride from Agustin Covarrubias, his first LGCT Grand Prix. Fantastic stallion here. Mumbai by Diamant de Sumilly and Nabab de Rêve. Originally named Mumbai JW van de Moerhoeve, where he was bred at Jan Wuitax and Kurt de Klerks. Mumbai, grandson of Michael van der Vleuten's former Grand Prix mare, VDL Group Eureka van de Rozakker. Boom boom off the ground there in front of the triple bar. Eight strides into the triple. Wow, he's jumping. A great round here, Mumbai. Jumps it easily. Made his Grand Prix debut here last year. Forward 4. Oh, shaved over the vertical. No margins there. But then great how he came back on the very short 5 strides to the wall. Here's another short distance. Short 6 and very short inside. Big swing. Now 1.70 meter wide oxer. And he's in for a clear here. Mumbai, Christian Koekoek. Second clear. Yes. After Bart Bliss, it is Mumbai and Koekoek that go clear and progress into the jump off of this Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Impressive jumping from the stallion Mumbai, who had a very busy breeding season in 2019. Those are the clears. Bart Bliss, Christian Koekoek. Only a few miles from where Mumbai was born, this gelding is born. Keros van de Hoogeinde at the Thijs family. Keros by Echo van Spieveld, out of Gina van der Roosacker, the daughter of Darko that performed with Jannica Sprunger. Gina was a daughter of Babbe of Michel Ecart, and Babbe a direct daughter of the celebrity in the breeding world of Usha van der Roosacker. René Lopez goes next for Colombia. And there you have it, that open flow from 1 to 2 to 3. And that's then followed by the short approach from 4 to 5, the short 8. Or would Lopez choose for 7? Easy 8, falling just nicely, and he can really ride in with leg and then push him out of the triple. Beautiful shape of this son of Echo van Spieveld through the triple. Gaudiano and Robert rode the triple combination on 7. Oh, and it's a little bit drifting here, unbalanced, but careful jumping from Keros. And here again, all good. Goes a little bit wider than most combinations in that turn. There's the torch. And another short line, but that should suit the stride of this horse really well, because he can ride in with leg, but there's no room inside. And it just squeezes over the back rail. And Keros van het Hoogeinde with René Lopez. With 1 fence left to jump. The time is going to be difficult. He's going to be outside the time allowed. Yes, he's penalized with a time fault. That is dramatic for René Lopez and for Keros. They rode a brilliant ride. Oh, it is expensive for Lopez and Keros. The horse jumped out of his skin. Lopez rode a smart round. His plan suited the gelding perfectly, but it took too much time. And remember, look, wait for it, and there it is. Wait for the beat to drop, wait for the nickel to fall. And remember that one rollback from 9 to 10, maybe that's where he lost it. On the other hand, there's also combinations that came in on 70 seconds. Bless qualified 76, as did Koekoek, so it is doable. And in the meanwhile, there is the experienced combination of Rockefeller de Pléville Bois Margot with Eduardo Alvarez Aznar on track. Oh, and it's an early fault. Aznar brought him nice and deep to the upright to get the 8 strides easily. The smaller your jump over the vertical, the easier, the more room you have for the 8 strides to get in there before the triple combination. And apparently it was too deep to the upright. Round he goes. This is where Lopez lost it. Aznar knows that there is only one rider on 4 faults. One rider on a time fault and 2 clears. And Aznar is number 11. So he is hoping to get home on a fast 4. That would be the 73.94 of Emanuele Gaudiano and Chalou. And that's not going to be his time. He's going to be in time, but not as fast. 77.77. It will be 5th for Eduardo Aznar and Rockefeller de Pléville Bois Margot. Two clears, Bart Bless, Christian Koekoek, Chris Kasdivi, Mumbai. A time fault for René Lopez. And that region there in Belgium where Mumbai was born, where Keros was born, it is the very same region where this Nuance Bleu was born. It's a real hotspot, a breeding hotspot. Nuance Bleu VDM by Nabab de Rêve and Canturo, bred by the Bruggeman family and ridden by Lorenzo De Luca in that fantastic uniform of the Italian military. The mare, 10 years young, stepping up to 5-star level. A little bit sticky out of the turn. Lovely deep stride to the triple bar. And he doesn't have to ride her open at all to cover the line 1, 2, 3. Wow, that body position of De Luca with that upper body stayed back, didn't let Nuance drag him forward, and he really put her on her hind leg, shifted the balance to the hind leg, and it was a very easy 8. Here it's a long stride. He finds himself nearly deep to the green vertical, and it's a beautiful round from Lorenzo De Luca. Now comes a difficult turn and a very wide oxer. Lorenzo De Luca is good for the clock. The time will not be an issue. Here comes a delicate plank. It's a very short 8. He can ride up to it and he brings her home on clear. And look at the smile. It was it was not a good first day for Lorenzo De Luca. And Nuance Bleu VDM. She surprised him. She stopped. He treated the rest of the rounds as a confidence booster. Gave her a nice round yesterday, and this is what all that management results into. It is a beautiful clear from Lorenzo De Luca and Nuance Bleu. She jumped an outstanding Grand Prix last week, and this is just a man who's happy that the horse that he really believes in is answering all the big questions, and how that she maturely dealt with the situation of Thursday afternoon. What a great comeback from Lorenzo De Luca and Nuance Bleu. 3 clears, there they stand. Titouan Schumacher. Titouan and his self-bred Atom Z by Amadeus Brimbel. Out of a mare by Toulon. Ooh, a little bit long. It's not the biggest horse, but he's got so much power in that hind end. There though, really lands on the back rail. And Titouan now cutting short for 7 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, for 8. Long into the triple. And again a long distance, and he needs to push, and he doesn't get what he wants. He wanted the flyer over Al Shakab, and then for Atom to continue and to drag him, hopefully, to the skinny upright, the narrow upright, the naked upright, you could say. There's no wings to that style, to that vertical, but he didn't do so, and Titouan retires. Here's the oxer. It's with the girth actually. With the girth that keeps the saddle in place. And here you hope for a long shot. And you hope for the horse to keep you pulling. But he landed a little bit out of that line. It didn't go straight over the oxer. Landed out of the line. And Atom Z. No, we're not doing that. This is the fantastic stallion Vanan with Jeanne Sadran. Jeanne, I believe, also with her launching Global Champions to a Grand Prix debut on a massive stallion, enormous scope. Riding for the Écurie Chevel in France. The stallion by Diamant de Semilly and Canaan, bred by... Yeah, oh, that's a fault. That was too deep. Bred by the LGCT founder Jan Tops himself. Out of the triple, over to ExxonMobil. Oh, that's deep again. Oh, what athleticism there from the stallion. Really, every fiber in his body working, every muscle bending and turning without losing shape. Here she comes on the short 6. Not short enough. She's on 8. This is a big test of scope now. That's not a problem. And the last fence, how about the time? Just in time. And 8 falls in 78.54 seconds for Jean Sadran and Van Am. Twice too deep, twice the fault. And Bart Bles, Christian Koekoek and Lorenzo De Luca, after 40 riders, the only 2 to go clear. Next in is the big striding Don Gerardo here. It's not much, but it's too deep. Here's Don Gerardo with Maurice Tebel in Grand Prix gear. Oh, there's a rub. He seems like a horse with enormous riding comfort. Lovely balance as well. A lot of horse in front of you, the neck. Oh, and he's also drifting a little bit in that line. And he has the hiccup over the upright. And you could see that he was unsure in the takeoff. He was drifting in the line at the landing, looking for a way out left and right. Tebel kept him between his hand and leg, straight forward. But he didn't get the jump. And Tebel, a horseman as he is, reapproaches Van Swan and retires. Out he goes. Two to go before the break, ladies and gentlemen, with the knowledge that we have got 3 clears at the moment. Bart Bles, Christian Koekoek, Lorenzo De Luca. That is the triple combination. Look at the eyes, look at the ears, look at the focus and the look of Don Gerardo. But it's not to be for this splendid combination with that lucky spot on the loin on the hip. And there's Philippars. Different kind of horse than Don Gerardo. H&M Legend of Love by Lance Sauber. Legend of Love, it's a different horse than Don Gerardo. Don Gerardo with that long flowing stride. Here, Legend with a smaller stepper. This is a pairing. They know each other real well. 50 years young she is now, Legend. And they fought many battles. After Cabrio, his number 1 horse, that took him to championship level. And look at how quick she is. How quick she can shift in the air, over fences, lengthen that body, but also shorten that stride as she lands in that triple combination. Very agile. Lots of blood as well, and that could come into play here. He goes for the 5. And that's a lovely ride right there from Philippaerts. Very smart move not to try and open her up, override her on the long 4. No, ride her the way she is on the short 5. And this should be easy then for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No room in here, but she's so quick off the ground. And Philippaerts sits on a clear round. She stretches over the back rail, and the plank should be an issue for Legend. Here she comes. No, it is an issue. What did he do? What did he do? It looked as if he wanted to take care of it too much. He wanted to clear it too hard, too bad. Once more on the hind leg, he said, and then found himself a little bit long, where he normally trusts her to get closer, to get deep. There, one more stride, he says. And all of a sudden he finds himself long, and I don't think she's to blame. Dropped off the bridle. And no H&M Legend of Love in the jump off, no Olivier Philippaerts. They were ridiculously close. This is the 2019 winner of this Grand Prix. It is Julia Epaillard and Quilletta. Quilletta by quality. Down it goes, global champions. And Epaillard will not repeat his 2019 win. But only 3 clears, and Epaillard knows. Epaillard switches now to speed class mode. For him, it's a speed class. 2 clears, 1 on a time fault, and Gaudiano sits on 4 as the fastest on 4. But Epaillard, with taking the risk, drops to 8 or rises to a score of 8. His score rises, and he will not be in the top 10 of this Grand Prix. It was the smart move to make to increase the pace. And he finishes 73.94 seconds. Yeah, exactly the same time as Gaudiano actually. 73.94, same time as Gaudiano. 1 rail extra, so 8 the score. And so we have seen the first 17 of 34 competing in this Grand Prix. Tractors come rolling in, and of 17 we only have seen, well, 4 clears, but 1 was outside the time allowed. The 3 clears come right there. The first clear from Barbless and Chris Kras, the second from Mumbai and Kukuk, the third from Lorenzo De Luca and Nuance, and the time fault, the painful time fault of René Lopez and Nuance Bleu. Just over a second, or just under a second outside the time allowed. The fast 4 of Gaudiano, the fast 4 of Philippaerts, and then Aznar. And who retired? Well, Oplatek, Schwitzer, Schumacher, and also Maurice Tebel. And those are the standings after part 1 of this Grand Prix. We will be right back. Get ready for the best in show jumping. Well, you are ready. We are already halfway in this Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Doha, Qatar. And these are the standings. Barbless Christian Koekoek, Lorenzo De Luca with 3 clears, 3 after 17 riders. That tells you how difficult this Grand Prix is. René Lopez sits by the sideline. He was clear. He was too slow. 1 time fault. And then the rest of the field. High scores for horses like Dalila de la Pomme, Quileta, and even retirement for Don Diarrado. Again, 17 riders and horses, combinations to go in the second part. And the more we progress in this Grand Prix, then we meet the riders and horses that qualified on the fastest clears in the qualifying session for this Grand Prix. And the very last to go is yesterday's winner, Scott Brash on Hello Vincent. Just before him, Peter Fredriksson on H&M Christian K, Von Eckermann on King Edward, and Weishaupt, Aalman on the Stallion Dominator, Kuhner, Ening, Watley, Bruinseels, Le Prévost. They're all here. All the big names are ready. All the big guns are ready to fire in the first of 15 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. And every Grand Prix win gives access to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at the end of the season in November in Prague. And that is an event that everybody looks forward to. It is not just the very best in show jumping, it is also the very best in production, in theatre, in atmosphere. And this man already appeared in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix after that 2019 win. 2018 actually, in the Monaco Grand Prix. It is Shane Breen with Z7 Ipswich by Glocks London and Quickstar, owned by Team Z7, based in the United Arab Emirates. And bred by the Van der Kloet family, by the multi-LGCT Grand Prix winner Glocks London, who was by Nabab de Rêve and Chinchi, who actually came from the same line as Mumbai of Christian Koekoek, who qualified here maybe for a Grand Prix win. We'll see that later. Wow, deep on 10 strides. And he got a little bit of a dead and steep landing, and he had to pick up the pace again, get that motor going again. Eight. Oh, lovely. It was a strong knock on the vertical, but then he really shifted forward out of the combination. And Breen really driving the stallion, or the gelding, to that wall, and still unclear. How about the time? Time allowed is 80 seconds, and it does feel tight for Breen, as there's quite some jumping to do. Stretching now over the back rail, and the back rail goes. He came in a little bit long. And here's the finish for Breen and Z7 Ipswich, jumping a good round and wiggling over that vertical, and then it is 8 faults in the end for Shane Breen, and that is a higher score than he actually deserves. The round was better than 8, but you could say that also of many others in this class, and Shane Breen goes out on 8 faults. Flat cup there, the yellow flat cup that holds the plank. Eric Lemaas goes next on the stallion Dieu Merci van TNL. There's actually another TNL bred horse coming up later, the Lux van TNL, out of the same generation, same year that they were born, sired by the same sire, Toulon, who also stands at stud at TNL's of Tilleman and Leenaert's stud farm. And the mare by Corrado 1 is also the mother of Quincero, who jumped well with Gerd Gulliksen and Victoria Gulliksen. He jumped a fantastic qualifier, super safe. That's the first knock, the first rub. A horse in his young career, as a young horse, jumped a ridiculous number of clears. 95% from his rounds between 5 and 9 were clear rounds. He went for 5 no in that line. 5 strides to the upright. And now we've seen a few do that. I think Olivier Philippard did it, I think Shane Breen did it. And now also Eric Lamaze on Dieu merci. Dieu merci, that's French for thank you God. Don't know how religious Eric Lamaze is, but this is a God-sent gift, this Dieu merci, because he's jumping a clear here in Doha. And Lamaze is in the jump off. A clear round in time, and Lamaze is number 4 to go. Fist pump from Lamaze, and he's still there, right at the very top of his game. And he's got a great stallion in this Dieu merci. Lovely foreleg technique as well. Oh. The 4 clears. Listen to the names of Blaise, Koekoek, De Luca and Lamaze. Lamaze clearly with much more experience than those young guns. And equally as much as experience for Edwina Tops-Alexander on Identity Witserul. A victory in this Grand Prix gives access to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix held in Prague, and she won that very first Grand Prix in 2018. Ben Meer won it in 19, and Identity flying through the air, and now looking for the control. Get him on the hind leg. She does that early in the turn. That's a beautiful move. That's a great shot into the triple. Now she has to work hard, and he brilliantly jumps that triple combination. The forward 4 won't be an issue. How will she deal with the short 5? And then the short 6. Launches him over Al-Shakab. Ah, that's all. Oh, the rail fell. The green rail fell quite late. We didn't even see it on screen. But it is down, and Edwina Tops-Alexander is on 4. There it's rolling in the sand. Can she get a fast 4? No, because it's going to be, if it's fast, 8. And the partnership is coming together. It's becoming more and more solid. But it is 8. And it is in time. 78.33. Edwina Tops-Alexander. Identity Witserul. Just squeezes, not opening up the hind leg. And I think she has to be happy with how this round played out. It's a difficult Grand Prix, and it did answer many questions. Isidore en Constant. Isidore en Constant. Constant van paasje Isidore van de Helle. out of the line of Quidam de Revel, French family that sits behind. Same family actually as Erenis and Irenis Horta. Ooh, he really dared him at the Qatar Foundation Oxer. And it was music from the wood. Lovely control into the triple. Picks him off the ground and just soars over the back rail of the Oxer. Van Paasje now in a technical line. And again, lots of control. Rode that real well. Lots of body language as well from Constant. But he rode that that line real strong. This again really drives the hind leg under, keeps him, holds him in front, so that the balance shifts, but it doesn't get it enough over that last Oxer in the double. Van Paasje on 4. Who else is on 4? Well, the group has grown. Gaudiano, Filipazza, Aznar and Constant. Van Paasje just finishes inside the time allowed. 80 seconds is the time allowed. Constant, 78.35. Constant Van Paasje, he goes to 9th place. Isidore van der Helle jumped a Super Grand Prix. He got him nice and deep to the base of that first vertical. Landed then a little bit steep, and then it was a long way out of the combination. And actually, the combination itself seems fairly short. So it's literally about how you come into it that decides how you can get out of it. This is Catch Me If You Can OLD. The OLD stands for Oldenburger Studbook with Anna Kelnerova for the Czech Republic. Just like Van Paasje, the knock on the Qatar Foundation. Global champions. Lovely how she reduced the tempo already in the turn. Great shot into the combination. Maybe slightly too deep. You saw by the marks in the sand where everybody else took off, she was really at the edge closest to the fence. And then the shoulder didn't fold up quick enough, didn't move up quick enough. Kelnerova with 4 faults. Oh! Stops. It was an open 4 and the 5 are short, and she rode for the short 5, but she didn't get him short enough. She felt very confident about the deep distance, and Anna Kelnerova walks out. And that's the second time that wall falls after André Oplatek. And Anna disappointed. She rode a very strong qualifier for Prague Lions. She and Niels Bruinseels on the team, they're double clear. From second last, they went to 7th place on the league. But couldn't add to that story here in this Grand Prix, to that success story. European team champion, European individual bronze medalist, winner of the Salzburg Grand Prix, 2-time Belgian champion, Jos Verlooyen. rides Varun by Verdi Cordalmé. For the Eurohorse stable in Grobbendonk. His father, also a former success rider, Nations Cup and 5-star Grand Prix rider Axel Verlooy. His mother, equally a successful international rider, Nina Verlooy. Jos got the best of both worlds. This is a nice horse, a very smart, sporty type. This Varum, that was born under the name Vogelfrei. Nice. Oh, too nice. And 8 faults as he leaves the triple combination, Jos Verlooy and Varum. And for a split second there, it seemed as if he was undecided to continue to ExxonMobil. And this is long, and now it's short, and Verlooy doesn't feel comfortable in that line. You could see him keeping his body back over that tall upright. Nice, 6. And it's just not Varun's day. It happens. And Jos Verlooy will retire from this Grand Prix. And it just shows that, ladies and gentlemen, we have only 4 clears after 23 riders in the first Grand Prix of the season. Ujano Vedzani. What a conundrum. What a brain breaker it is. How to get through it, because where do we see faults? 1, 2, 3 not. Faults on 4, faults in the triple, not on ExxonMobil. We did see faults on N Asha Cup and the green vertical and the wall. We didn't see faults on fence 10. We did see faults in the combination and on the last plank. So it's really spread all over in this Grand Prix. It's not because you get through one part that you're home clean. No, it is focused right until the end. Penelope Le Prévost. Penelope Vancouver de Longines. That's a very safe start from another one by Toulon. Look at his big strides. He doesn't even have to open here. But it was too easy, the 4. And he, like many horses, he had a look at the Liverpool underneath. And Le Prévost sits on the 4. That makes it 8 with pace into the double. Ooh! And Vancouver de Longines, the stallion, rattled, phased by the fault into double. He didn't see it coming. And Penelope retires. Still only 4 clears. The expression on her face in the takeoff, she knew that it was wrong. And it wasn't going to end well. Mark Macaulay now voor de écurie La Tuyère. Jasco van de Bisschop bij Dulf van de Bisschop en Crunch de Brève. Dolph, who's outperformed by his own offspring. Hardy van der Bisschop is one of them. Here, Jasko is one of them. Hanna, ex-Steve Gerdin, is also one by Dolph. A little bit of a rough ride in the beginning here, and Macaulay has to check and add, and can he get over the width? Yes, he can. Why is it sticky? This course does not allow any mistake from horse nor rider. And Macaulay also reduces the pace. What's his plan? One more jump. And the front of his cap broke. And he decides to retire. Probably hit it in the landing somehow, somewhere. Yeah, if you can't fix it, then rip it off. Was it in the triple combination? Likely. This is the fault. Here's Niels Bruinseels, focused with the looks van TNL. So, second horse bred by Luc Tilleman and Louis Leenaerts of TNL. And what is it? It is the third son by Toulon. There was Dieu Merci, there was Vancouver de l'Horloge, and there's this Deluxe. And then we didn't speak yet about Electric Blue, who also runs blood of Toulon in his pedigree. Toulon himself a former Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner back in Rio de Janeiro with the late Hubert Bourdi. And Bruinseels to the start. Outstanding in last week's Grand Prix. And a very safe qualifier. He spared this horse. The horse didn't jump all week, just jumped the qualifier earlier today. And he kept him fresh. Look at how he could sit forward and light out of his saddle, counting comfortable on the quality of Deluxe. But it's not a game played yet. Here's one of the toughest lines in this course. Oof, and it still was a little bit sticky, just like it happened to the other Toulon, to Vancouver de l'Horloge of Pénelope Le Prévost. But he is doing this very, very well. And it was indeed the Sao Paulo Grand Prix that Toulon won with Hubert Bourdi. And can Bruinseels win this Grand Prix? Then he's got two fences left to jump. Then he's in the jump off. And then he has to take on the best riders in the world. Is he one of them? Well, he could be. He has to prove it here tonight. Bruinseels for the last fence. The plank leaves it up. And Bruinseels is clean and clear and in the jump off. And he is fifth to go. And that's two Grand Prix in a row that the Deluxe jumps clean and clear. And Bruinseels normally calm and composed. A man that doesn't show much emotion, but there, elation. Delighted about how this gelding is developing. The plan all along, since last Saturday, to only jump him today. Risk everything, all or nothing. Look at the smile. Sport to the purists. Bless Koekoek de Luca Lamaze and Bruinseels. Gregory Watley, he won the 2020 Valkenswaard Grand Prix. He also won in Shanghai. On the beautiful Nevados. the stallion that took him to Team Gold in Rotterdam 2019. With Verlooy, with Guéry and De Vos on the crew. Super efficient jumping and just, not over the back rail. It's a horse that isn't spectacular, that doesn't leave much margin, doesn't have much air time, hang time. But the back rail of that last Oxer was a stretch too much to ask, apparently. It is 160 wide to come in, it is 150 wide to 155 wide to go out. And Watley now into speed mode. Fastest 4, 73.94, Emanuele Gaudiano, he's 7th. Then it's Philippard, 75.69, he's 8th. And then Aznar, 77.77 is 9th. Where can Watley land the stallion? Always 8, everybody 8, and he has it down on 8. 75.43 would have been good enough for 8th place. But now on a score of 8 it will be quite a drop. It is 13th for Greg Watley and Nevados S. Little bit of room, and that foreleg dangled the plank down. Now we come to the group of riders that qualified on very fast clears in the qualifier. First to go, Star Gold, Marcus Ening. Star Gold by Staccato Gold. Ening, alongside Peter Fredriksson, winner of the Global Champions League in Doha, with a stallion that was playful, bucking and kicking in the qualifier. Is the temperature better? Is the stallion more under control? No. Still the playful buck after fence 3. You don't want it in here in the short 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful 8. Little touch though. Lovely how he set light through the triple. A man with a lot of self-balance, and by having so much self-control, giving lots of balance and confidence to the horses. Look, those 4, you never saw that the 4 were difficult, you never saw that the 5 were difficult. He breezes over the sand in the desert of Al-Shakab. These 6 were supposed to be short as well, you didn't even see it. And how does he deal with this line? Look at the time as well. 1, 2, don't do that, Star Gold. Here's the last fence. He's going to get deep, but he deals with it really well. And 75.80. And Ening again, delighted. And Star Gold can't get enough of the spotlight here in Al-Shakab. He is once again right there where he needs to be, in the group of the clears, right there in the jump off. Beautiful technique, and 2 masterminds in the conversation, Ojano Vezzani and Ening. And 6 left to go. We have 6 clears now, 1A jump off. The big Scopy, Chris Casables, the rather unexperienced Kukuk as well, or rather unexperienced Mumbai of Kukuk, and also unexperienced Bleu, but then GMC Deluxe, all in that Grand Prix. And then to top it off with nobody else than Marcus Ening and Star Gold, and we're not done yet.
Our next rider is a career winner of the Longines Global Championship Grand Prix at Cascais in Portugal. Winner of the Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia in December, Asset for Germany, Philippe Weiss.
Bye-bye.
That is the parkour that we are going to follow, the track to jump in the last round. Uliano's team preparing the very last parts of that jump off course. This is the starting order with Bles, Koekoek, De Luca, Lamas, Bruinseels, Ening and Brash. And that is how it is laid out in real life here at the Longines Arena at Al Shakab. Here we are, counting down the seconds until the first of 7 riders, 7 heroes, comes in for the first jump off of the season. The Longines Global Champions Tour season kicked off here, and we've got 14 stages left to attend across all continents. And those Longines clocks will decide on the final time. And as you can see, sandbags holding those fences in place. There's a strong wind here in Al Shakab, and let's hope that the riders can feel the wind in their sails as they tackle this jump off course, because the winner of this Grand Prix will take home the golden ticket to Prague, the ticket that gives access to a highly restricted Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix, only accessible to 1 rider per stage. Every winner gets a ticket. A Super Grand Prix with record prize money. And Bles, the unfavorable position to be first to go. What do we have here? A horse with stride, a horse with quality, with power. Also a horse that spends time in the air. He's slower over the fences than he is over the ground, and that's something that Bart Bles will have to deal with. He will have to find it elsewhere. 8 strides. And 8 strides, twice 8. Now the rollback. How wide is it? And can others make this tighter? "11 into the combination." And here's the rollback again. Puts the horses on the hind leg, also breaks a little bit the rhythm, and he drops off the bridle twice in that approach. And now he has to pick up the pace and gets him in front of his leg and opens and checks because it's not fitting, and now it fits, and now he's home, and now he's clear, and now it's 42.16 seconds for Bart Bles and Chris DV. Yes, it's fast. Yes, it can be beaten. Jump off round by Bart Bles and Chris DV. the rollback maybe could be tighter from 3 to 4, and he dropped off the bridle there towards 15, and maybe that's the margin that other riders can use, can play with to improve the time of Barbless in this jump off. Mumbai and Kukuk, less experienced than the other horses in this jump off. Mumbai, the youngest, 9 years old. Stallion by Diamant. Diamant Semilly. Here he goes. 42.16 to beat. That's 8 and 8. Oh, that's a nice and tight turn, I was about to say, but just too deep. 1.1 seconds quicker than Barbless, but the GC gate, that wide rail, lovely rollback as well. For time you'd think he's faster than Barbless, and he finishes faster as well. It is 40.64 seconds with 4 faults. Remember, don't forget, it's a 9-year-old stallion who comes through on the 4 here in his first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix jump off. One clear, 1 on 4, time to beat 42.16. Here is the ever fast Italian Lorenzo De Luca, Nuance Bleu VDM. Another unexperienced horse compared to the horses that are later to come. She's 10, Nuance Bleu VDM. She's stepping up. But she's got more pace, I believe, than Barbless's Crisscross. And there aren't any technicalities. But here, oh, just in time. We don't see the countdown, but I counted it that De Luca still has time. And now she plays on him again, and this is where she stopped on Saturday, on Thursday. But he recovers, and now he has found the pace and the rhythm. Slices Al Shakab. Keeps the 8 to Qatar Foundation. Vezzani made it a little narrower, that Oxer, and has a beautiful shot to global champions. De Luca is on a smooth run. He's quicker than Bless. Oh, and the fireworks are off, but he is slower than Kukuk. But Kukuk was on 4, and De Luca is clear. And here comes Lorenzo De Luca from Italy, checking once more, and can he get there? He is almost clear, and he is nearly 2 seconds faster. So he did win a lot in that second part of this Grand Prix. A great result from Lorenzo De Luca, and Nuance Bleu VDM double clear in the Grand Prix and leading the standings ahead of Barbless and ahead of Kukuk and Mumbai. And now the experience comes in, the experienced horses. Dieu Merci, Deluxe, Star Gold, and Hello Vincent. The man who has seen and done everything. Nations Cup, Grand Prix, World Cup, even right up to the Olympics. A winner in every phase of his career. It's Eric Lamaze and Dieu Merci van TNL. Wow, that's also on the angle, also on the 8. 40-20 to beat. Feels like Lamaze is a little bit wider here than De Luca. Yes, 0.4 of a second slower. De Luca is still leading. And De Luca was quick in his second sector. Lamaze loses ground. And now he has to open up. De Luca checked for the distance, and Lamaze can keep coming for 40.20. And Lamaze seems to be quicker, and Lamaze clocks off in 40.35. He closed in on Lorenzo De Luca, but not enough to overtake him, and Lamaze will have to settle for second place. But what a debut for his 2021 Longines Global Champions Tour season on this fairly new mount on Dieu Merci van TNL. Double clear. And fractions slower. What was it? 0.15 of a second. And from one Toulon to the next, there it is, 40-20, 40-35, and then a big gap to 42.16 of Barbless. Bruinzeels, like an emir, overlooking the course, the fences. Can he rule over Doha and over Qatar this night, this evening? A windy Saturday in the Arabian Peninsula. Bruinzeels and Deluxe. Same trajectory as Lamaze. Pushing and pushing. I think this is slower. It is 3/10. And here he adds. Oh! And can he get out of the double? He can, but now he has to make the rollback and he has to go flat out from this Longines upright all the way to the last fence, and here he gets the extra skip that he's not looking for. Open up, if you want to win this, it's flat out, all or nothing. And here comes Bruinzeels for 40-20. He's going to lead. He leads the Grand Prix. What a ride from these Bruinzeels. And once again, the explosion of joy. And it wasn't perfect, but for now, it's good enough to lead. Bruinzeels leads the Grand Prix in Doha. That last run, that last sector must have been wild, must have been blazing from Bruinzeels and Deluxe. But we have to say that Bruinzeels' jump off still gave room for progression, gave margin to 2 men left to go in this jump off. Marcus Eining and Scott Bresch. Eining is first to go. The rollback was good, it wasn't perfect. The approach into the triple was good, but it wasn't perfect. Not the triple, but what's left of the triple, the double combination. And here, Eining, flying start. All on 8, there is no other option. Banks on the back rail. And it's down. It is down and it's 4 faults. And look at the time, more than half a second quicker. And Eining comes home with 8 faults in the end. And it was a very fast run from Marcus Eining on Star Gold. 38.85 seconds. He was a second quicker than Niels Bruinzeels, but he pays it with the 2 fences down. Isn't that something? Niels Bruinseels, the Cannes Grand Prix winner, leads in Doha. De Lux leads as well. De Luca is second, Lamaze is third. And here is the last man. He's yesterday's winner. And yesterday it was a direct battle between Bruinseels and Bresch. Bruinseels led on Frenchie. Bresch came in with this horse to clinch the win and to send Bruinseels to second. And tonight it's the same old story. It's Bruinseels leading now on the Lux, but it is Bresch coming in again on Hello Vincent. Was Bruinseels fast enough? The time of Ening says no. But Bresch has to leave the fences up for the first Grand Prix of the season. Ooh, it is faster. It is faster, and it's not a little bit, it's even much faster than Ening. And if Bresch leaves those two fences up, he's going to win this Grand Prix, the first one of the season. Is Bresch going to hook his ticket? No, it falls, and that means that Bruinseels wins the Grand Prix in Doha. And Bresch comes home on a screamingly fast 4. It's a screamingly fast 8 even for Scott Bresch and Hello Vincent. And Niels Bruinseels wins the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix here in Doha, Qatar. Second, Lorenzo De Luca, and third is Eric Lamaze. What a jump off and what a scenario. Bruinseels, who only rode his horse just today, spared him all week, qualified earlier in the team competition and books this big win, his first big win of the season. And there's one man who is certain to go to Prague, and that is Niels Bruinseels with the Lux van TNL. What a performance! Lorenzo De Luca on that shooting star. Nuance Bleu comes second, and Eric Lamaze comes third. And what a success for Tilleman and Leenaerts. Louis Leenaerts, a breeder, a man of a stud farm that exists for more than 50 years. And now two of his offspring by his own stallion, and two horses bred by him and his son-in-law Luc Tilleman are on the podium of the Grand Prix here in Doha in Al Shakab. What a weekend it is for them. And there's the final result. Bruinseels wins, De Luca is second, and third is Eric Lamaze. 4 Bart Bless with Chris Kras, 5 is Mumbai, 6 is Hello Vincent and Scott Bresch, and 7 Star Golds with Marcus Ening. But Bruinseels in a league of his own. Well, can you say a league of his own? It is the fact that Ening and Bresch were quicker, but it's not about being quick, not only about being quick, it's also about leaving fences up. And here's De Luca. At this point, De Luca was ahead of Bruinseels. Here Bruinseels came on par, and the cutback, the rollback was tighter. And Bruinseels maneuvered himself ahead of De Luca and never let go. Though here De Luca is actually ahead. The turnback of De Luca was better, and then Bruinseels, De Luca had to wait, added 2 strides, and Bruinseels was right there and won it. And we go down and speak with Niels Bruinseels, because he, without a doubt, has got a lot to say about this first big win of the season. The golden ticket to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix goes to him with the Lux of TNL. The winner is Niels Bruinseels. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Niels, that was a spectacular performance. You galloped to the last. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I have no words for it actually. I have to thank really my horse. I think I've won just one of the best horses in the world. He makes it different for me. I was a bit lucky in the jump off, but you need luck to win, I think.
And what a plan to only ride him today. What was the behind the scenes of that?
He jumped amazing last week, and he felt so good. So I was thinking why I should ride him the first day to jump and to jump and to jump again. I was really confident in him, and he did it today for me.
And you've won the first golden ticket to the LGCT Super Grand Prix in Prague. How important is that this early on in the season?
This is really important. This is a championship from the highest level in the world. To win straight away a leg, the first leg. And for me, it's a bit jumping like home in Prague because I'm the team member of the Prague Lions.
Well, congratulations. That was amazing.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
There's the final standing. Niels Bruinseels, Lorenzo De Luca and Eric Lamaze. They top the overall ranking. 40 points for Bruinseels. The big bonus is the golden ticket to Prague. And straight away a high scorer for Lorenzo De Luca and Eric Lamaze. Also Bart Bless and Christian Koekkoek at the appointment early on in the season. And they can't take those points away anymore. And Niels Bruinseels, a man who doesn't show much emotion, with tears in his eyes, talking about the looks van TNL. I've got one of the best horses in the world. The plan worked out. You could see it already in the qualifier when he jumped clear in the Grand Prix as well. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of passion in his reactions right after the Grand Prix, right after he rode those clears. And there he stands between big names in show jumping, but the biggest name, the biggest man of the night is Niels Bruinseels. What a man and what a performance. And there the podium being prepared. Lights out in Al Shakab for the award ceremony. Spectacular venue. And what a spectacular weekend it has been. A big win for Valkenswaard United in the league, and now a massive win for Niels Bruinseels here. And in the darkness of the night, one smile shines bright. It is the smile of Niels Bruinseels on board of the Lux van TNL that took him, guided him, offered him the win, and he thanks it all to his horse. And I think if you'd ask Lorenzo De Luca, he'll say exactly the same thing. What a comeback from that mare. Award ceremony, the first of 15 in this 2021 championship, ladies and gentlemen. Madrid is next. And there we are joined by Sheikh Yuan bin Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani as the president of the Qatar Olympic Committee, and Her Highness Sheikh Moza bin Nasser as co-founder of the Qatar Foundation. And of course, there's Jan Tops as founder and president of the Longines Global Champions Tour, the best in show jumping. And tonight, he's the best. Niels Bruinseels from a small city, a small town just outside Mechelen, Bonheide, where he runs his sports stable.
Ready for the presentation of tonight's first Grand Prix of the 2021 season. What a season it promises to be, as our first ticket to Prague has now been issued. Ladies and gentlemen, our third place finisher.
Third place is Eric Lamaze with Dieu Merci van TNL, and actually all you want to see is Eric with that fantastic stallion. There he is, Eric Lamaze, and Dieu Merci van TNL. And the funny thing is, the great story about this, Dieu Merci and the Lux grew up in the same fields in Vrasene. They were born in the same season, grew up in the same field on the green grass of Vrasene. And they meet again here in El Shakab. Lorenzo De Luca comes in second, and Niels Bruinseels wins this Grand Prix. And to make it even more remarkable, the three horses that took these three men to the podium are all born around and about 30 kilometers, maybe even less than 30 kilometers away from each other. Nuance Bleu VDM-Z, bred by the Bruggeman family, close to Vrasene, where the Lux and Dieu Merci were born. The Belgian Brabazon, Belgium prevails, Belgium is victorious here. Three Belgian horses on the podium and a Belgian rider at the very top of it. It is Her Highness Sheikh Moza bin Nasser as co-founder of the Qatar Foundation that presents the trophy to Eric Lamaze, and some warm words as well from the Sheikha. the Qatar Foundation, that also hosts the Aspire Zone in the Doha Sports City, and one of the driving forces between the development of Doha and Qatar as a nation, as a global nation, also outside of their natural oil and gas resources. There is Jan Tops, who comes forward to present the medals, and it's a Longines watch for Niels Bruinseels. And I think Jan Tops, as a former athlete himself in the sport, can feel the joy that Niels feels for this big win, as well as Lorenzo's and Eric Lamaze's. And there's also Sheikh Joan bin Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani as the president of the Qatar Olympic Committee, and there they stand. The top athletes, the prominent people of a beautiful night in Doha, Qatar. And isn't this the best way to start the season, with a tremendous Grand Prix full of passion and power, excitement and tremendous winners. And we can't wait to fly back to Europe and to meet you in Madrid at the Club Campo de Villa in the Spanish capital, where we will swap this futuristic arena, the sands and the floodlights, for the historic stadium, the grass and the Spanish sun. And that will be stage 2, leg 2, round 2 of Global Champions. From all of us here in Doha, Qatar, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a long wait. 2020 has been a difficult season for everybody, but we've opened 21 in a tremendous way. Thank you very, very much for joining us, and we're all looking forward to having you as guests again in Madrid in Spain in, what is it, a month or two. Enjoy these last images wherever you are on the globe. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day, and
للفرسان الفائزين من بلجيكا نيلز برايسيلز، من إيطاليا لورينزو دي لوكا، ومن كندا إريك لاماز. Congratulations, gentlemen.
He's going to come one more time, ladies and gentlemen. It's richly deserved as well, all on his own, with Deluxe Van TNL, your victor here in Doha, Qatar, Niels Bruinseels. Thanks to our presentation party, Her Highness Sheikh Moza bin Nasser, co-founder Qatar Federation. His Excellency Sheikh Joan Al Thani, President Qatar Olympic Committee, and Mr. Jan Tops, President Longines Global Champions Tour.